All right, so welcome to knowledgeism.com. This is a short video describing the book, The Secrets to Increasing Your Power, Wealth, and Happiness. And this is one of the foundational books we use. In fact, anybody who does coaching with us, or as we like to call it, processing, which is a specialized form of coaching, they read this book before we get started with them. So what is this book about? So let's scroll down here a little bit to the bottom, and we'll have a description of the book that you can read here. And this book is basically about your potential. What is your potential? And the answer is your potential is your life force particles. And in this book, we define those life force particles as pieces of you, or attention bits. So these are bits and pieces of the life force known as you. So you get a longer description of that in chapter 5, but basically the life force particles is actually absolutely one of the key concepts of this book. And it defines what makes up your spiritual power, what makes up your spiritual energy, and how that connects to the ability to achieve your goal or feeling stuck and stopped in life. Before that, Alan describes in chapter 1 the pursuit of the golden magic zone, or that experience that athletes call in the zone, when you're outside time, outside space. To the basketball player, he shoots and it's like the hoops the size of an ocean. You can't miss. And the golfer, the putt or the hole looks huge, and it's almost like the ball as it rolls just naturally finds it. Everything's just in the right place, right time, just going right. To the salesman, it's everyone he calls is looking to buy, and it'll just go on an incredible streak of selling and meeting the right people. So that is the golden magic zone. It often functions outside time and space. So we start with that in chapter 1. Just before that, Alan will define the 4 zones of life. Red zone, which briefly is being in the wrong place at the wrong time. The yellow zone, which is the comfort zone of life. The green zone, which is the right place at the right time with the right people, doing what you love. And the gold zone, which is being outside of time and space. So as we go on with the book, there's so many great chapters. Talk about, as we get into chapter 10 and 11, talking about what happens when your life force particles are trapped or tied up. Simple fact is we define those life force particles as your spiritual energy. So when you have those life force particles available, you're able to invest them in your goals, invest them in your dreams, and use that to energize you going forward. When someone has their life force particles trapped and losses, shocks, upsets, things like that, they tend to be slow moving. They tend to be in low mood levels. They tend to speak slowly. They just don't have that energy and dynamism there. So we'll talk about that and through the middle chapters of the book. As you go on a little further, chapter 16, 17, 18, and 19 are short chapters, but really powerful because each one has indicators of where you are in the zone. So for example, chapter 16 are the signs that you're in the red zone. Want to know if you or somebody's in the red zone? Those are the indicators in chapter 16. In chapter 17 is the sign of you or somebody being in the yellow zone. Chapter 18 is the signs you're in the green zone, right place, right time with the right people. And 19 is signs and indications you are in the gold zone. So that is super important if you're a coach, if you're an executive, if you just care about the people around you. It's a fantastic tool to be able to spot what zone you're in and also spot what zone others are in. Chapter 20 defines the vital skill of life, which is the ability to free trapped life force particles. Chapter 21 and 22 get into more about the coaching and how to best set yourself up for success. And chapter 3 gives you a positive how to be in control of your life force particles going forward. So this is a fantastic book. This is probably one of the foundational books of what we do. Like I said, this is the number 1 book we recommend for someone new as they get started with this. And and that is The Secrets to Increasing Your Power, Wealth, and Happiness.